white numbers and red trim defending the basket to our left. Newcastle in their home whites with red numbers, little black trim defending the basket to our right. Joe Janik, Dave Shinsky, who actually has Fayette County roots, and Shane Snyder, your referees for the game tonight.
Yep, should be a good one, and looking forward to it. And the first couple minutes, it'll be interesting to see how the Mustangs kind of weather the storm, if you will, from this Red Hurricane team, and we'll see what happens.
Again, it's Graham, Cade, Wells, Boyson, Cox on the Newcastle side, DeShields, Gallagher, Palumbo, Davis, and Egnott on the Laurel Highlands side. Keandre DeShields in the center circle to jump for Laurel Highlands. Donnie Cade coming off a career high 13 points against Greater Latrobe in the quarterfinal round will jump for the Red Hurricane of Newcastle as Joe Janik will step into the center circle and get this boys 5A semifinal round game underway from Newcastle High School tonight here on WMBS and the Triple Live High School Sports Network. The ball in the air, and it's Newcastle that controls the opening tap. Back to Michael Graham, the 5'11 junior guard who came in averaging 8 points a game. We'll send it around the arc here on the near side. Michael Wells back up top, and already can sense some good ball movement here out of the Red Hurricane. Cox pulling it back to Graham. A little switch back to Michael Wells. Far wing three on the way, no good. Rebound deflected around, kept alive by Cox. Back in the corner. Boyce reloads and connects on the three. Isaiah Boyce.
Wow, Palumbo had a chance to get the rebound. He just got pushed out of the way by Boyce. And then Boyce got it back for the three.
So Newcastle striking first, leading 3-0. Here's Brandon Davis between the circles for the Mustangs, coming right of the lane. Switches here with Gallagher, picked up there by Boyce. On the outside to Palumbo, who's been a little cold as of late from the field. Laurel Highlands trying to get him going in this semifinal round game today. Davis trying to pull it back out to Palumbo, deflected out of bounds by Cox. Will stay with the Mustangs here in the Newcastle zone.
Yeah, the first couple minutes, a little bit of nerves, and you see how the Mustangs are going to try to settle into this thing.
Keandre on the far wing looking for the tie on the three, off the mark. Came up short there, and Newcastle with the rebound. They'll run it back across with Michael Graham pulling it right in the lane. Michael Wells driving and scoring. 5 unanswered out of the gates for the Red Hurricane. 6:47 left here in the first. A tough start here for the Mustangs. Again, they got an early hole against Penn Hills in their quarterfinal round win, 48-41, but they were down 10 early on. Gallagher for three up top on the way. Again off the mark. Battle for the rebound, deflected around, and then controlled there by Sheldon Cox after he was pressured by Keandre DeShields.
Right away you see how athletic and strong.
Cox turns it over. Gallagher the steal. Bounce pass forward. Brandon Davis coming back inside, leaning in a travel call there on Davis. And Steve, you pointed out earlier, this is a little bit of a longer floor than the Mustangs might be used to.
Yeah, it's a little bit longer floor, and it's more like a college. It's an NBA style court, and it's just bigger. And the Mustangs got to get used to that. Now they played well at the Peterson Event Center last year in the finals.
Palumbo, a little pressure there on Boyce trying to deflect the ball free, but Boyce able to regain. Thought about the three and pulls it back to his left there to Michael Graham. Spins in on Rod, off balance shot off the mark. Ball deflected around, and Davis controls the rebound there for Laurel Highlands. Up and across to Gallagher, long two, near wing. Off the mark there from Rod. Laurel Highlands 0 of 4 from the field here early on.
Well, you see right away the Mustangs settling for outside shots.
Long three, Boyce off the mark underneath Davis. The rebound there for Laurel Highlands.
Wow, Davis got away with a walk.
He did.
There.
I saw that as well. Brandon back across, little ball fake, goes inside to Egnott. Will turn and shoot. No good there for Nick, but he's fouled. 2 free throws upcoming.
And that foul goes on number 11, Cox. First foul of the game, and Egnott did a good job getting position. Tough shot to make, but he couldn't do it, but at least he got the foul.
And Egnott just 5 of 15, though, Steve, of the foul line this season, 33%. Laurel Highlands as a team now shooting 69%. First of 2 here for Nick on the way and good. That'll make him feel a little better, maybe calm down the nerves a little bit. 5-1 Newcastle, now Egnott's second free throw. This one on the way and good again.
Stroked him.
Yes, he did. 2 confident strokes there from Nick Egnott. Mustangs back to within 3, down 5-2. Here at the 5:20 mark of the opening quarter. Red Hurricane back across. Michael Wells up top, off to his right to Donnie Cade. Now off to his left to Sheldon Cox, who fires the 3 and connects again. So Cox and Boyce with early threes for Newcastle. Red Hurricane on top, 8-2. 5:03 left here in this opening quarter. Here's Gallagher back across for Laurel Highlands. Switches up top with Brandon Davis. Mustang cheerleaders right in front of us.
Yep.
Davis back to Rod, over to Caleb Palumbo.
Shaking our table.
And the corner to Brandon Davis. Davis coming far baseline, pulling it out to Rod. Open look on the wing for three, out the side of the rim, no good. And another Newcastle rebound pulled down by Donnie Cade.
And right now the Mustangs seem to be they're just settling for a lot of outside shots, not really driving in.
Still without a field goal. 0 of 6 from the field, just those 2 made free throws from Egnott. And here's Newcastle going down low. A little floater good there for Sheldon Cox. So Cox with 5, and we've played almost 4 minutes, and Laurel Highlands still looking for their first field goal of the game. Again, they won the opening 6 minutes against Penn Hills without a field goal. The similar score up on the board. Mustangs down 10-2. Davis, 3 from the parking lot, spinning out. And that ball saved there on the baseline for Michael Wells for Newcastle. Nice save there, brought back across Sheldon Cox. Outside the arc to Michael Graham on the switch on the far side. That's Isaiah Boyce for a 3, no good. Long rebound, kept alive. Graham reloading near side, off the mark there, Cade. And Gallagher the rebound there that time for Laurel Highlands. Rod running back, Rod going coast to coast. A lot of contact and a charge call there on Gallagher.
Yeah, you see that one coming from half court. And you can't blame him. He's got to try to do something to get this ship going right on there. But Coach Hogger going to take a timeout.
We'll take one as well. 3:41 left here in the first. 10-2 Newcastle. We're back at 60 here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Tonight.
Visit C. Harper Chevy East and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $139 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with $3,000 cash rate equity with GM Lease Loyalty or Lease Conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends March 31st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231 or visit CHarperChevyEast.com.
Magisterial District Judge Jennifer Jeffries would like to wish the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local teams this season. Judge Jeffries recognizes in these uncertain times, a successful season requires teamwork, and that requires the hard work of players, coaches, and their families. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Jennifer Jeffries.
Newcastle with the basketball. Newcastle with the basketball, leading Laurel Highlands 10-2. 3:20 left here in the opening quarter. Coming inside, and a jump ball called there off the penetration from Wells.
Good job by Gallagher to stick his hand in there and get a hand on that. And you can see right away if how big Wells is. He looks like he's a full or a tight end for football, doesn't he? He looks huge.
A lot of size. Mustangs get it off the possession arrow, and Char Valley having similar trouble like Laurel Highlands. Mars off to a 13-0 lead over Chartiers Valley, and the other boys 5A semifinal round game being played tonight. Here's Pratt down low, jumper from just inside the foul line, no good, and Michael Wells, another rebound there for Char Valley. Wells off to Graham and across, far wing Cox for 3 off the mark. Keandre DeShields the rebound there for Laurel Highlands. Mustangs still without a field goal, Steve.
Yep, sooner or later someone's got to put one in.
Here's Davis leaning and getting fouled. Brandon Davis will have 2 free throws upcoming. That could be the second on Cox. No, it's going to go on Boyce. Cox was in the vicinity. Boyce had his arms up. He wanted to make sure that Cox didn't pick up his second personal foul here in the opening quarter.
I want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. I know we had some listeners from Louisiana last week, Brian, and watchers from New Jersey, Louisiana. My good friend Joe DeSalvo in Latrobe, actually in Greensburg, is watching tonight. I want to say hi to Joe.
Davis making the first of 2 free throws.
Sitting on his couch, I'm sure, with a nice cigar.
10-3 now. Second free throw upcoming here from Brandon on the way and good again. So Laurel Highlands, one positive note, they're 4-4 from the foul line.
Well, we need to be. And Brian, here's the thing. They started out like this last week, and if they could just hit a couple threes, make a couple shots and just get some confidence.
Need something to settle in. Jonathan Anderson into the game on the Newcastle side. It's going to be Michael Wells connecting upon another 3. Wells now with 5. That's 3 made threes out of the Red Hurricane here in the opening quarter, and they lead by 9 at 13-4. 2:19 left here in this opening quarter. Here's Gallagher working between the circles. Still holds, lost the dribble, trying to float it out to Keandre, and it was intercepted. Jonathan Anderson racing back, got too deep on the scoop shot attempt. Gallagher had the rebound, but was out of bounds, so Newcastle retained possession here in the Laurel Highlands zone.
One of the rare times you'll see a bad play by Gallagher, just a lazy pass to Pratt. Didn't respect the fact that the defense was going to come out and challenge it.
Those passes against a team with Newcastle's skill set have to be a little bit quicker tonight. Again, the margin for error much less than it might have been earlier on in the season.
Now we're in a 2-3 zone.
And down low, another basket from Michael Wells, as he uses the glass and gets that one to go.
Yeah, they're making it look too easy. It probably seems easy for them right now. They're having really no problem at all.
15-4, Newcastle leading Laurel Highlands, 1:35 left here in this opening quarter. Here's Gallagher up top. Pratt trying to set the screen. It's not there. Rod stays with it. Rod being fronted there by Wells. Will take a long two up top. Again off the mark. And they'll get Pratt here for over the back. And Newcastle will take over again. So we're here, Steve, at the 1:24 mark of the opening quarter. Laurel Highlands has yet to make a field goal. They have 4 made free throws, 2 from Davis, 2 from Egnat. That's it here in the opening quarter.
Well, they're settling for a lot of long jumpers. And they just can't afford to do that against a team like Newcastle. And the problem is they can't get themselves in the paint. They're so big.
They've struggled from the field so far, as this one will get floated from Coxon to Jonathan Anderson. And Anderson, who off the bench, only a sophomore, averages 6 points a game for Ralph Blundo's squad. Send it off there to Donnie Cade, back to Isaiah Boyce. Another nice switch up top and a jumper from the foul line. Good again, that's Andre Jackson coming off the bench and making it 2 there for Newcastle. So the Red Hurricane, they can't miss here early on. They lead 17-4.
They look pretty comfortable, and they're just making the Mustangs look bad, to be quite honest. Mustangs are just getting a little flustered.
Defending 5A champs on the ropes. Down 13, 45 seconds left here in the opening quarter. Rod up top. Here's Gallagher left of the lane. Drives and got blocked there by Donnie Cade. And Newcastle takes over again. Jonathan Anderson will bring it back across. Red Hurricane by 13 over the Mustangs. 25 seconds left here in this opening quarter. Andre Jackson pulling it off there to Boyce. They might hold for the last shot. Anderson's just going to hold here high on the left. 15 seconds left here in this opening quarter. Anderson edge of the zone. Watched there by Gallagher. Anderson working left of the lane. Sends in the corner. 3 from Cox. Good again. Boy, Newcastle can't mix. Cox has 8 points here in the opening quarter, and it's a 20-4 lead for Newcastle over Laurel Highlands. Mustangs don't even have a field goal yet. We're back with the second quarter and 60 here on the CR Parada Group High School Sports Tonight.
All right, March is Ford Truck Month at Thurby's Riverside Ford Sales. This is the time, this is the place, and this is the Ford F-150, the best-selling truck on the planet for 44 years. You can now tow more, haul more, and ride in style. We have Super Duties, F-150s, and Rangers in stock. With March Truck Month incentives, get $11,500 in Ford factory incentives on new 2020 Ford F-150s, the toughest truck for the toughest jobs. Did I mention it's SUV season 2? We have Explorers, Expeditions, Escapes, and Edges. The new 2020 Ford EcoSport all-wheel drive comes with $6,500 in factory rebates. Thurby's Riverside Ford Sales, located 1 mile past Lady Luck Casino, is your Ford truck and SUV headquarters. Come and experience your presidential award-winning dealer. Offer ends March 31st, 2021 with approved Ford credit financing.
Brian Mrozek and Steve Suberg back here at Newcastle High School. 20-4 Red Hurricane over the Mustangs. Steve, I'm waiting for you to pull a Jim Rooker and see if the Mustangs come back, you'll walk home.
Well, that's a pretty far walk, but they gotta settle down. I'm just like looking at my score sheet, and I just put check marks next to Palumbo, Gallagher, and the Shields. Those guys got to get some points.
Jumper left of the lane, good for Sheldon Cox. He's already in double figures with 10. Laurel Highlands down 18 at 22-4. Laurel Highlands still without a field goal as we enter the opening minute of the second quarter. Gallagher across here on the near side. Pratt sets the screen. Rod top of the key. Pulls back to Brandon Davis. Davis fronted there by Donnie Cade. Davis up top. Will take a long two, and it's out the front of the rim. No good. Ball deflected around and controlled there by Donnie Cade again. Far wing. Michael Wells for three. Rains in another one. This is unbelievable. Wells with 10. Newcastle up 25-4 over Laurel Highlands with still 7:06 left before halftime.
Well, the good news is you got a lot of time to make something up, but you got to start scoring a little bit.
Here's Keandre DeShields for three, and he rains it in. Finally, the first field goal of the game for the Mustangs comes here as we go under 7 minutes left in the second quarter. So Laurel Highlands went 9 minutes without a field goal, but a make there from Keandre pulls them back to within 18, down 25-7. They'll have to slowly try to find a way to work their way back into this game. From the far elbow, Donnie Cade sent back around the arc there to Boyce. The inside touch from Cade, and they'll take another three from Cade off the mark. Offensive rebound brought down and put back up and in by Sheldon Cox. Cox with 12. Newcastle goes back up 20 at 27-7.
Good position by Cox. Just got inside of Pratt and just did not let Pratt get anywhere near that ball, and it was an easy putback.
Gallagher off to Keandre DeShields. Holds here on the near wing over to Jaden Pratt. Pratt up top, back to Keandre. Spins inside, will take a little fadeaway and make it. So Keandre with 5 second quarter points. Mustangs trying to settle in. They're still down 18 at 27-9. 5:50 left before halftime. Here's Michael Wells. Pretty move. Pass off to his right to Donnie Cade, who's there with the finish. That was an ankle breaker. Timeout Laurel Highlands will take one as well. 5:44 left until halftime. 29-9 Red Hurricane. We're back at 60 for the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Hi, my name is Christian. I'm here to tell you about my youth group. Every Thursday at Trinity United Presbyterian Church of Uniontown is youth group night. We have food, play games, and read from the Bible. Not to mention our other fun activities such as video game nights, horseback riding, and bowling, just to name a few. I really enjoy gathering with my friends and learning cool new things. If you're interested, you can call the church at 724-437-2709, 724-437-2709. Bring a friend and join us for a fun time in fellowship. The fun starts at 5:30.
Prime Roseneck and
South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer wishes the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs this season and in the playoffs. During these uncertain times, a lot of hard work goes into a successful season, and that includes the cooperation of players, coaches, and their families. South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer commends all of those whose hard work has gone into making this a successful season. Like our local teams, Robert Schiffbauer is working hard to make life better for the residents of South Union Township. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs from South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer.
As we come back, Steve, a travel call on Keandre DeShields, so the hole getting a little deeper here for the Mustangs. They're down 20 at 29-9. Phil Michael says he will walk home, Steve, if the Mustangs come back in this one. And a miss there on a three from Newcastle, and Keandre the rebound. Keandre pulling it back here to Rod up top, trying to back his way in. He'll turn and shoot from the foul line, an air ball. Goes right underneath to Sheldon Cox. Back across to Michael Wells, fronted there by Jaden Pratt. Newcastle fans try to give the Mustangs a little gruff. Fancy dribbling there from Boyce, trying to switch it back there to Graham. And they're going to call a foul here on the Mustangs.
Now they're going to call that on Newcastle.
Are they? Okay. On Graham there on the hold. Mustangs were breaking back.
That's the one time Mustangs did not want the foul because looked like Davis would have had a layup.
Also want to send a shout out to Bobby Ruggerai, who watches all of our games online. Appreciate Bobby checking in with us tonight as well. But the Mustangs down 29-9. Here's Gallagher for three, hitting it. First points of the game for Gallagher come from outside the arc here on the near wing at Laurel Highlands. Back to within 17, down 29-12, 4:38 left before halftime.
Well, you know, if you could just somehow get this to 10 by the middle of the third quarter, you got to feel like you got a chance.
Just give yourself an opportunity in the second half. And Newcastle, you might see some longer possessions now to Ralph Blundo's squad again there in the semifinal round of the playoffs for an 11th straight year. Running a little time here with Michael Graham off to his left to Michael Wells, fronted there by Jaden. Mustangs haven't got Jaden involved yet in this contest. And Newcastle just working it here around the arc. Boyce back off to his right. Cox driving, put it off the glass. No good. Egnott the rebound. Little touch there off to Gallagher and across. Rod on the far side. Stop and shoot from the foul line. Good from Rodney Gallagher. Now you can hear it from the Mustang supporters. Laurel Highlands back to within 15, down 29-14, trying to claw their way back here at the 3:44 mark of the second quarter.
Ralph Blundo doing a dangerous thing. Now I think he's going to go more in.
Nice bounce pass on the inside. Sorry about that, Steve. Finish for Michael Wells. He has 12.
I was going to say they were holding the ball a little too much there, almost going to stall with, a whole game, more than half the game left, and that's a little early. That's going to be a foul on Newcastle. That's going to be on number 1. That's going to be on Graham, his second. But what I was going to say, Brian, you got a 20-point lead. That's a little bit, you're not used to that in a playoff game, and all of a sudden the kids kind of take the air out of the ball. That could kind of throw off the momentum, and then, the Mustangs get hit a couple shots, and all of a sudden you're within striking distance. Not yet, but let's hope.
Gallagher sends it to Keandre. It was a non-shooting foul around the arc. Caleb Palumbo here on the near side. I don't think he's attempted a shot yet. Back to Brandon Davis. Davis floater, good. Brandon Davis, his first field goal of the game, has 4 points, made 2 free throws earlier. Mustangs back to within 15 again at 31-16 as we approach the 3-minute mark of the second quarter.
Well, at least you got to feel like you're in the game now. You're playing, you're scoring a little bit.
There's Michael Wells right of the lane, almost lost the handle, close to a walk there, not called. It's back around the arc. Anderson high on the left, fronted there by Gallagher, 2 sophomores. Anderson on the far side. A little switch there with Michael Graham. Pulled back to Michael Wells now, backing in traffic. The basket and one, ring it up for Michael Wells. He has 14 already.
Gallagher or Palumbo, and it's on Gallagher, and that'll be his second.
Wells for the season, 61% from the free throw line, 30 of 49. Came into this game 1,211 career points. Needed 4 tonight. Moving to the top 8 all-time at Newcastle. Already has gotten there, and he might end up one of the top scorers in Newcastle history before his career is done. He's only a junior. Did miss the free throw. Laurel Highlands the rebound. Keandre back up to Davis, and Brandon Davis getting the basket in one after a couple of little bumps there left of the lane in the Red Hurricane zone.
And that foul goes on Cox. Oh, no, Anderson.
Just the first on Jonathan Anderson. 5th team foul on Newcastle. 2 of the 3 fouls the Mustangs have committed were committed by Gallagher. Palumbo and Pratt now will take a seat. We have Thomas Brown, Gallagher, Brandon Davis, Keandre, and Egnott in the game on the Laurel Highlands side. And now Davis ready 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Make it 2 of 3 as he misses there. Could not convert the 3-point play. Mustangs still down 15 at 33-18. 2:18 left before halftime. Red Hurricane bring it back across there with Jonathan Anderson. After a touch from Wells, Anderson gets it back, sends it inside, leaning and missing there. Sheldon Cox, and underneath, Nick Egnott able to scoop up that loose ball rebound. Back to Rod and across. Here's Gallagher now in the lane, drives, scores, and draws the foul in the process. Rodney Gallagher with 7 second quarter points. As the Mustangs trying to get back into this one, now down 13 at 33-20.
It's on Anderson again. And again, the Mustangs kind of inching back. I mean, they're not back all the way, but like I said, you get this thing down to around 10 points at some point in the second half, you've got to feel like you got a chance.
It's down to 12 after a made free throw there from Gallagher, 33-21.
And now Gallagher's going to come out with those 2 fouls and a little offense-defense. You can't afford to get him out of the game too long. I know you don't want to get that 3rd foul. DeMonte Kiss comes in the game.
Hasn't seen too many minutes as of late. Certainly thrown in here during a big spot. It's back to Wells. Near wing Isaiah Boyce, fronted there by Terrence Thomas Brown. Boyce now a little switch from Graham. Back between the circles, Wells, and now Graham again. Graham has yet to score in this game for Newcastle. Came in averaging 8 a game. To his left to Michael Wells again. Touched off there Isaiah Boyce. Again Thomas Brown in his face. Boyce fights it off over to Cade. Down low again. Sheldon Cox. Contact and a foul called here on the Mustangs.
That's Terrence Thomas Brown. Coach, actually Rodney Gallagher was going to come check back in the game. Coach says not yet. Still on defense. And that's the first foul on Brown.
Fourth team foul on the Mustangs here in the first half. Newcastle's Michael Graham to trigger it in. A little bounce pass left of the lane there. Wells resets outside. Boyce, and has it taken away by Thomas Brown. Looked like he might have been fouled. The ball deflected out of bounds off of Newcastle.
Perfect for the Mustangs, and now they tip the ball out of bounds, and now Gallagher can come check back in the game for offense. So that's exactly what Coach Hogger wanted, and now you got a chance to cut it to 10 if you could get a bucket here, and I think that Mustangs have got to be thrilled, to be honest with you, to be only down 12 right now.
Davis holds back to Gallagher on the far side. He barks out of play. Sends it back off to Brandon Davis. Little ball fake to his right to Keandre DeShields. Fronted there by Donnie Cade. Over to Davis again, and now Keandre, long three on the way, off the mark, and underneath rebound pulled down there by Sheldon Cox for Newcastle.
Gallagher soaring in there, trying to get a rebound, but he had to be very careful.
Did a good job backing off. Don't want to pick up your third personal foul here in the first half.
Not on an offensive rebound try.
42 seconds left before halftime. Newcastle back in the corner. Graham, nice bounce pass down low. Floater good. In traffic, Michael Wells. Wells, 9 here in the second, 16 for the game already. Red Hurricane back up 14 at 35-21. Final 30 seconds of the second quarter. Brandon Davis back to Gallagher up top, and now Brandon again on the far side. A little ball fake. Stays with it outside the arc. Back over to Rod in the corner. Thomas Brown a little juggly, but to save it back to Rod again here high on the right. 10 seconds left in the quarter. Out to Davis. NBA range three off the mark. Egnott offensive rebound. Goes back up a miss. And that rebound pulled down by Michael Wells.
Yeah, good job by Egnott to get the rebound. Just rushed it.
Wells from midcourt. No good. We've reached halftime. 35-21. Newcastle, a 14-point lead over Laurel Highlands. Stay tuned for our halftime show. It's brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Comes your way next year on WMBS and on the Turbo Live High School Sports Network.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachin's follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
Hi, I'm Russ Blejo. As your local Allstate agent, providing protection that fits your life is something I take, personally. I'm committed to learning about your needs and personalizing protection to meet them. From bundling your auto, home, and life insurance with ease to evaluating optional coverage based on your protection needs. I can build an insurance proposal that fits your life. Are you in good hands? Contact me, Russ Blejo, for a free quote.
Loyalty or lease conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends March 31st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-99-8000 or visit charborchevy.com.
Police Plumbing and Excavating, helping area residents with residential and commercial plumbing, gas, electric, and water lines, along with paving, concrete, and excavation site work for over 30 years. Building a new home, Lee's does utility installation of water, gas, and sewage lines. Lee's does maintenance work in all existing homes. Call 724-245-2950 for your quote. Lee's congratulates all the area basketball teams and wishes them luck in the playoffs. Lee's Plumbing and Excavating.
Hi, this is Uniontown City Police Chief Jason Cox. Over the last 2 decades, it has been a privilege to protect and serve our great community. Dedicated to a life of public service, I am ready to serve those commitments in a new capacity. It would be an honor to be elected as your next magisterial district judge in the city of Uniontown. I humbly ask for your support, both Democrats and Republicans, on May 18th. If elected, I give you my word that I will carry out my duties and responsibilities with fairness and impartiality to the law. Vote Jason Cox.
Paid for by the Friends for Jason Cox.
Riz's Restaurant, located in the heart of downtown Uniontown at 84 West Main Street, specializes in upscale bar food such as burgers, salads, subs, and sandwiches in a relaxed atmosphere. When you stop by, don't forget about Riz's famous chicken salad sandwich. Check out Riz's Facebook page for daily specials. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 9, with takeout always available. Phone 724-425-1782 for Riz's Restaurant in Uniontown.
Magisterial District Judge Jennifer Jeffries would like to wish the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local teams this season. Judge Jeffries recognizes in these uncertain times, a successful season requires teamwork, and that requires the hard work of players, coaches, and their families. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Jennifer Jeffries.
Paid for by the candidate.
Did you know that you have a choice for your physical therapy provider? NovaCare Rehabilitation offers same-day appointments, and oftentimes you don't need a prescription from your doctor to see us. We will make sure that you are treated as an individual and will work directly one-on-one with you to help achieve your goals. You have tried the rest. Now try the best. NovaCare, Delaware Avenue in Uniontown. Phone 724-437-0556 to schedule your appointment today.
Brian Rozak and Steve Supert back here at halftime. Your halftime score, 35-21, Newcastle over Laurel Highlands. Our halftime show brought to you by First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Steve has your halftime stats. They're brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market.
Okay, for the Mustangs, DeShields finishes with 7 points, Gallagher with 6, Davis with 6, and Egnott with 2. That's it for the Mustangs. 4 in the first, 17 in the second, 21 at the half. For Newcastle, Donnie Cade had 2 points. Wells did all the damage with 16. Jackson with 2. Boyce with 3. And Cox with 12. They had 20 in the first, 15 in the second for a 35-21 halftime lead. And one bright note, Brian, the Mustangs at least outscored Newcastle in that second quarter, 17-15. So if we get a little more of that and get on a little bit of a hot streak and get them a little cold, I think the Mustangs, you could maybe fight back and get a chance to get back in this game.
On our scoreboard, brought to you by Davis & Davis, attorneys at law, helping local people with their legal matters since 1976. Char Valley has come back to take the lead over Mars. Mars jumped out to a 13-0 lead. Char Valley cut it to 14-11, and then another run from the Colts has Char Valley, the number 1 seed, up 32-23 over Mars. That game has reached halftime.
Yeah,
Talk about a swing in that contest.
Yeah.
And again here, Laurel Highlands down 35-21 against the Newcastle Red Hurricane. Again, the winner advances to the WPIAL Championship game, which will be played on Saturday night at 8 o'clock at North Allegheny High School. The Mustangs come back. We'll have it for you here on WMBS. 35-21, Red Hurricane over the Mustangs. Second half comes your way next year on WMBS and on the Triple I High School Sports Network.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. That's 724-592-6308.
All right, March is Ford Truck Month at Thurby's Riverside Ford Sales. This is the time, this is the place, and this is the Ford F-150, the best-selling truck on the planet for 44 years. You can now tow more, haul more, and ride in style. We have Super Duties, F-150s, and Rangers in stock. With March Truck Month incentives, get $11,500 in Ford factory incentives on new 2020 Ford F-150s, the toughest truck for the toughest jobs. Did I mention it's SUV season 2? We have Explorers, Expeditions, Escapes, and Edges. The new 2020 Ford EcoSport all-wheel drive comes with $6,500 in factory rebates. Thurby's Riverside Ford Sales, located 1 mile past Lady Luck Casino, is your Ford truck and SUV headquarters. Come and experience your presidential award-winning dealer. Offer ends March 31st, 2021 with approved Ford credit financing.
North Union Township Supervisor Curtis Matthews, along with his fellow supervisors, congratulate the Laurel Highlands Mustangs on a great season and wish them luck in the WPIAL playoffs. Kurt Matthews knows that dedication and teamwork are what it takes to keep moving forward, and that is exactly what Kurt has done for over 17 years in North Union Township. Kurt Matthews knows that teamwork, experience, and dedication are what it takes.
I'm attorney Trip Radcliffe, and we at Radcliffe Law have been helping people that were injured in accidents for over 35 years. When you're involved in an accident, it can be scary. Radcliffe Law will meet with you for free, and our experienced team will provide you with valuable information needed to pursue your claims successfully. If you or someone you know are injured in an accident, call Radcliffe Law, 724-439-3939. Radcliffe Law, making the law personal.
And the madness and go mobile this March with First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Download the First Federal app and get the security you expect and the convenience you need. Deposit checks, pay bills, turn off lost or stolen cards, check balances instantly, and manage card limits, all with a swipe of your finger. Don't forget the Card Valet mobile app to protect your debit card from fraud. Visit the Apple App Store or Google Play to download the apps. Visit firstfederalofgreene.com for more information. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
Magisterial District Judge Jennifer Jeffries would like to wish the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local teams this season. Judge Jeffries recognizes in these uncertain times, a successful season requires teamwork, and that requires the hard work of players, coaches, and their families. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Jennifer Jeffries.
Paid for by the candidate.
Lee's Plumbing and Excavating, helping area residents with residential and commercial plumbing, gas, electric, and water lines, along with paving, concrete, and excavation site work for over 30 years. Building a new home, Lee's does utility installation of water, gas, and sewage lines. Lee's does maintenance work on all existing homes. Call 724-245-2950 for your quote. Lee's congratulates all the area basketball teams and wishes them luck in the playoffs. Lee's Plumbing and Excavating.
Brian Rozak and Steve Subrick back here at Newcastle High School. So the Mustangs, a lot of work to do here. Steve down 14 as we get ready to start the third quarter. We were talking with Billy Dice, who's doing our camera again for the Triple Live High School Sports Network. He pointed out, and I think a good point in that, Steve, Laurel Highlands has no one to match up against Michael Wells so far.
No. He's just he's that much better than everyone else. He's just big. He's athletic. He can shoot from the outside. He can get down low and then get in the paint if he wants to. And he's taken over this game. And he's, the Mustangs are going to have to, they're going to have to get hot from the outside. Really, Brian, I don't see they just haven't done anything in the paint to really get anything consistent out of there. You got to get some hot shooting going on and have hopefully get a little cold streak from Newcastle, but this is going to be an uphill battle. But still, at one point, I'd have taken the 14-point deficit at halftime the way it was looking there in that first quarter.
The Mustangs won the opening 9 minutes of the game without a field goal.
So the Mustangs, you got to give them credit for kind of battling and staying at least within striking distance.
Trailed 20-4 after one quarter of play, but actually outscored Newcastle 17-15 in that second quarter. As Brandon Davis, Mustangs working right to left as we describe it here in the third quarter. Keandre DeShields up top. They'll switch back here with Rod, who'll work off to his left. Will bounce it in the corner to Palumbo, fronted there by Wells. Palumbo lost the dribble, needs help, sends it inside to Egnott. Egnott trying to work here on Cade and gets the two to go. Nick Egnott.
Yeah, used his big body, kind of little baby hook. Threw it in there. Nice job by Nick Egnott to get a well-needed point.
Mustangs back to within 12, and Palumbo forces a steal. Here's Caleb Palumbo racing back, got fouled underneath by Isaiah Boyce. Second on Boyce, first team foul of the second half on Newcastle, and Palumbo, who really struggled, Steve, from the free throw line against Penn Hills, who headed the foul line, just 46% for the season.
Yeah, well, and down by 12. You got to make free throws. Let's see what we do.
First of two from Caleb on the way in. Good. I'm sure he's been practicing those since Saturday. He gets his first point of the evening here at the foul line. And now Caleb's second of two. Line drive rattled in for Caleb Palumbo. The Mustangs 6 of 7. Check that, 7 of 8 as a team.
Down 10.
From the free throw line. Down 10, you're right. Fighters' chance here, down 35-25. We approach the 7-minute mark of the third quarter. Down low. It's pulled out from Wells. Kicked in the corner. The 3-ball spins out there from Boyce. And Gallagher, after a little juggle, hauls in the rebound. Big possession here for the Mustangs. Gallagher fighting, little ball fake. Pulls out to Keandre. Little juggle, regains. Pulls back to Rod up top. Rod now works right in the lane. Comes inside. Pretty move, couldn't finish. Rebound deflected around. Egnott controls. Nick battling down low, pulling it back to Rod, who drains the baseline jumper on the far side. Rodney Gallagher in double figures with 10. Mustangs back to within 8, down 35-27.
Egnott credit with the rebound. Then he didn't put it back up. He saw Gallagher, and why not?
3 up top, off the front of the rim, no good. Michael Wells, and Laurel Highlands the rebound. Here's Gallagher. Racing back across, near elbow, jumper too strong, rebound deflected around, Egnott found it. Egnott between defenders, resets back out to Rod. Rod left of the lane, little ball fake, stays with it, floats it back to Keandre, trying to spin off of Cox, and now resets and slows things down again to Rodney Gallagher.
And Coach Blunda has got to be a little concerned just because the way this has started. The Mustangs, you could just see the Mustangs gaining confidence.
Here's Egnott down low, was double teamed, trying to keep it alive, rolled out of bounds. And that was tough there. Yeah, Egnott between defenders.
Palumbo, I don't know what he's thinking there, Brian, throwing that. I mean, you want to get the ball down low once in a while, but he threw it to a spot where Nick was going to get trapped if he was able to catch the ball. And Coach Auger, you can tell he's screaming at his assistant coaches, was not happy with that play.
Red Hurricane back across here with Michael Graham. Mustangs still with momentum back. Over to Michael Wells. To his right to Donnie Cade. Pulls it back between the circles again. Sheldon Cox. Out to Wells. Another little switch back to Graham. They haven't got him going yet. Here's Graham. And a little bump call here on the floor on Brandon Davis.
Davis, yeah. But you can sense a little bit of confidence, Brian, from the Mustangs.
Brandon Davis is first.
They're kind of just settling in.
Down 8 at 35-27 with 5:19 left here in the third. Red Hurricane still with the basketball, working left to right. They have not scored yet here in the third quarter. Here's Michael Graham. To his right to Michael Wells. Bounced into Sheldon Cox. Contact down low, blocking foul.
That's going to be
on Davis.
Davis should be a second.
That could have went either way.
Joe Janik and Coach Auger not happy with Mr. Janik. That could have easily been a charge.
I agree. Michael Graham will trigger it in. Set in the corner, Michael Wells back on the wing around the arc. Boyce, far side. They're looking to set up Cade. It goes back on a long 2. No good. Cox, rebound, deflected around. He'll be over the back there on Cox. That'll be his second personal foul.
Third. Should be his third, I think.
Just a second, Steve.
Yeah.
Timeout Newcastle, 4:58 left here in the third, 35-27. Red Hurricane are back at 60 here on the CR Piranha Group High School Sports Tonight.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sprowls Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to sprowlsinsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Visit Sea Harbor Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $139 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year with $3,000 cash trade equity with GM Lease Loyalty or Lease Conquest. Payment is plus tax, travel fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends March 31st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-99-8000 or visit SeaHarborChevy.com.
Big possession here for Laurel Highlands with the basketball back, down 8, 4:46 left here in the third. Gallagher holds high on the right. Back over to Brandon Davis near side. Now Keandre and Brandon again. Will fire it off to Caleb Palumbo. 3 on the way off the side of the rim. No good. Rebound deflected around and controlled there by Michael Graham. I think that was the first shot attempt of the game from Palumbo. Sent back ahead, leaning and drawing the foul there was Isaiah Boyce. It almost seemed like Boyce was a little bit out of control there, Steve, leaning in on that shot attempt.
That should be on Nick Egnott.
It is.
His first.
They'll rule this in the act. Actually, Donnie Cade headed to the line. Newcastle is yet to score here in this third quarter. First of 2 free throws from Cade, good as it rattles in. For Cade, who came in at 72% from the foul line, 13 of 18 this season. Again, coming out of a career high 13 points against Greater Latrobe. This past Saturday makes both free throws here. And Newcastle goes back up 10 at 37-27. 4:23 left here in the third. Davis brings it back across over to Rod, far side, back to Brandon. Now Keandre will fire the three at the back of the rim, no good. Another rebound from Michael Graham for Newcastle. Graham playing catch there with Cade. Graham gets it back. Switches up top with Michael Wells. Wells left of the lane, a little hop step, and the finish, Michael Wells. They can't stop him, Steve. He has 18. Coach Hager wanted to travel, but the continuation granted in the lead at 12. Davis back across, over to Rod, back to Brandon. Thought about the long three, sends it back over to Gallagher. So Newcastle getting all the momentum back and a double-figure lead in that. Davis back over to Keandre, and now Brandon again. Will kick it back in the corner. Palumbo reloads, and again off the mark. He's really struggled, Steve, from the field in the postseason. And another Newcastle rebound. Wells down low, coming free, and over the shoulder and in from Isaiah Boyce. Boyce with 5, lead back up to 14. 6-0 mini run here for the Red Hurricane.
I'd imagine you're going to see Pratt come in for Palumbo. I would think they're going to try to get him the ball again. Somebody has got to make some shots.
Davis long 3 again off the mark. Not good looks from Laurel Highlands. Cox the rebound.
Well, they're so tall, and it's hard for the Mustangs to get inside.
That's why Newcastle continues to be one of the top programs in Western Pennsylvania. 11 straight years in the semifinals. Looking for another appearance in the WPIL title game. A lean and a make there from Sheldon Cox. Cox with 14. Newcastle got ousted in the WPIL semis last year, playing in 4A to Bell Vernon. They're up 16 right now. Timeout Laurel Highlands. Red Hurricane 43, Mustangs 27. We're back at 60 for the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Does your car sound like it's saying, "Trade me in, trade me in," every time you start it up? Well, go to Ford of Uniontown and trade it in. That's right, your Uniontown Ford dealer is ready to assist you with a new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV purchase. Ford of Uniontown has all the deal, all the inventory, and they are ready to deal. It has never been a better time to buy a Ford. Service is their top priority. No matter where you purchase your Ford car or truck, Ford of Uniontown will be happy to service it for you. They offer Ford-trained technicians, Ford-certified parts and service, 1-year, 12,000-mile parts warranties, and new state-of-the-art service equipment. Call or stop in today to see the hometown service of Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 West across from Applebee's. So listen to your car the next time you hear it say, "Trade me in, trade me in." Ford of Uniontown, Route 40 at the top of the hill.
Mustangs with the basketball back, but down 16. It's an 8-0 run for Newcastle right now. Brandon Davis, far wing and in, driving, a lot of contact. They called a charge there on Davis. I don't know about that call, Steve.
The defender was underneath the basket. Usually they kind of let that go if they're that close to the hoop. But that's the third foul on Davis, and you cannot, if you're Rick Hogger, afford to take Davis out of this game.
They didn't call that on Jaden Pratt down low, Steve, away from the ball, did they? I thought they might have announced Pratt instead of Davis on the PA. And again, we can't see the scoreboard from our location that has the fouls. There's a 3 up top off the front of the rim. No good, Michael Wells. Foul called off the rebound. I think they're going to get Cox here for the foul.
Yes.
That'll be his third.
Well, that'll be a break. We can't see, like I said, it's hard to see this. Yeah, they got Pratt with 2 fouls, so that's a break for the Mustangs. If you see it down there on the, we could kind of.
Yeah, I got you. So that last one on Pratt, not on Davis.
Yeah.
So Mustangs will take that as Gallagher will bring it back across. But Laurel Highlands down 16 at the moment.
Time for Mr. Gallagher to start playing a little basketball.
Off to Keandre. A little ball fake. Reset to Jaden Pratt. Far side Rod again. Holds on the far wing. Tries to pivot back to Keandre. Keandre high on the right. Not a lot of room out there with that Newcastle defense, and they're going to try to force another turnover here. Ball loose on the court, and Rod saves it there for the Mustangs. Comes back, floats one off the glass and in. Rodney Gallagher now with 12. Mustangs back to within 14 at 43-29, and that snaps an 8-0 Newcastle run. Michael Graham back up top, fronted there by Rod, setting the screen as Wells. It's switched back on the far side to Boyce, who takes the three off the mark. Offensive rebound. Cade out-muscled Egnott to it. And they'll go cross-court far side, touched off Boyce. Back on the wing, Graham drives, trying to hand off out in front. But on the intercept was Pratt, who threw it right back to Michael Wells, who comes back and gets a blocking foul here on Pratt. And that should be a technical foul there for slamming the basketball down.
It is. It's a technical foul on Graham. Now they're going to call the foul on Pratt for the block. See how they...
That will be Pratt's third. And the technical call there on Newcastle. They're going on Graham or Cox.
That was number one. I thought it was number one that slammed the ball.
So Pratt picks up his third. It is a technical foul there on Graham, which will also be his third.
Technical foul on Keandre DeShields.
No, they called a technical on Keandre?
No.
They had to announce that wrong. That has to be on Graham.
Yeah, they announced it on Keandre DeShields, but
it was Graham that slammed the basketball down.
Right. If they don't reverse this, that'll be the worst thing I've seen in a long time.
And they're not going to. It's going to go on Keandre. Unless they're just going to allow, what might be happening though here, Steve, you're going to have Wells maybe shoot here on the initial foul, and then Laurel Highlands shooting the technical free throws on the other side, I would think. I mean, they call them both on the Mustangs. That's quite an injustice. Wells makes the first of two free throws.
Well, Graham clearly slammed the ball.
Yeah, correct.
Now and then the official immediately called it technical, unless he, they're going to go the other end.
Technical foul on Michael Graham.
They do make the correction.
All right.
So Gallagher will shoot the technical free throws to our left. 56 seconds left here in the third, 45-29 Newcastle. After those two made free throws from Wells, and now Gallagher comes back and makes the first of two here at the line for the Mustangs. Gallagher now over 900 career points. Steve came in at 891. 13 so far here tonight. Second of two free throws, good again for Rodney Gallagher. And the Mustangs will have possession of the basketball, down 14 at 45-31 with 56.7 left here in the third. And Brandon Davis will trigger it in. And in the backcourt to Rodney Gallagher. Will bring it back across. Get picked up there by Andre Jackson, who's back into the game on the Newcastle side. Switch back over to Keandre between the circles. Now off to Rod. Long three out the front of the rim. No good. On the rebound tracked down by Jonathan Anderson for Newcastle. 35 seconds
Coach
left here in the third.
Screaming. I don't know if he liked that shot, but somebody's got to take a shot. And, Gallagher's if DeShields, Davis, or Gallagher get an open look at a three, almost at this point, you got to take it.
And it's just tough to get good looks.
Yeah.
Against a team as solid as the Red Hurricane of Newcastle. Here's Anderson again, high on the right, fronted there by Gallagher. 12 seconds left here in the quarter.
5-second call.
5-second call. Mustangs will get it back. With 11 seconds left here in the third.
Well, there's a perfect, that's an example of a crowd being in here affecting a little bit. He probably couldn't hear his coach telling him this,
the count's on.
The count's on, and he didn't see it. So Mustangs get a chance to dip into this lead with 10 seconds left.
Send it back to Rod, who will bring it across. Rod now left to the lane, will hop step, scoop and a score for Rodney Gallagher. Rod, 8 here in the third, 16 for the game from mid-court. Missing there is Jonathan Anderson. So after 3 quarters of basketball, it's Newcastle 45 and Laurel Highlands 33. We're back with a 4th and 60 here on the C.R. Parada Group High School Sports Night.
Just as your local State Farm agent combines good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates, you can combine your home and auto. And guess what you'll get? That's right, good neighbor service with surprisingly great rates. State Farm agent Lauren Yeoman is your go-to agent in Uniontown for the service you deserve at the price you want. Call 724-592-6308 for your surprisingly great rates. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. That's 724-592-6308.
Magisterial District Judge Nathan Henning extends his best wishes to both the Uniontown Red Raiders and Laurel Highlands Mustangs. District Judge Nathan Henning knows that success in life comes from hard work, and a successful sports season is the result of the hard work of the players and coaches and the support of their families. It requires teamwork. Good luck to the Uniontown Red Raiders and the Laurel Highlands Mustangs from District Judge Nathan Henning.
Brian Rozak and Steve Suberg back here at Newcastle High School, 45-33. Newcastle leading Laurel Highlands as we head to the fourth. Laurel Highlands once again. Steve outscored Newcastle in a quarter, outscoring the Red Hurricanes 12-10 in the third. But that 20-4 first quarter deficit the Mustangs had, they had been unable to get out of that hole, Steve, after they trailed by 16 after one.
No, but they're saying there's a chance.
Still have a chance. Newcastle with the basketball. Nice pass down low and the finish again. Sheldon Cox. Cox now with 16. Red Hurricane go back up 14 at 47-33. There's Gallagher high on the left. Sends it off to Keandre. Fronted there by Sheldon Cox. Keandre holding, working off to his left, and now Rod again will take the three in traffic off the front of the rim, no good. On the backside off the deflection, Brandon Davis keeps alive the rebound, comes far baseline, and gets the two to go. Brandon Davis, his first 2 points of the second half, has 8 for the game. Mustangs back to within 12, but look out. Good ball will dump down, and they'll get Keandre to Shields on the foul here for over the back.
Well, if you're going to foul him, foul him. Just Keandre, he really got up in the air, and dangerous play there. He's lucky he didn't get hurt there.
It'll be Donnie Cade here at the foul line for Newcastle. Again, 72% for the season. This is on his first of 2 here. Is that 3 on Keandre?
I only had 1.
Looks like they have him on the board. We'll double check it. You're right, just 1. I thought they announced third. Second of 2 free throws, good for Cade. So Cade with 5, 48-35. Lead at 13 for the Red Hurricane over the Mustangs. Here's Gallagher, far wing and in. A little pivot, fade away off the front of the rim, no good. And Pratt went for the rebound, couldn't find it, was controlled by Cade, and they'll slow it up here to Michael Graham, who will bring it across to the far side. Here's Graham, bounce pass, off to Cade, swung around. And then resetting again, high on the left, Michael Wells. Might see some longer possessions now out of Newcastle here in the final 7 minutes. It's going to be Cox for 3, and he sends in another one. Sheldon Cox, his third made 3 of the game. He has 19 points, and the Red Hurricane back up 16 at 51-35 with 6:27 left here in the fourth. Up top, Brandon Davis. Swung off to his right to Gallagher. Floated out to Keandre to Shields in the corner. Keandre to the wing, back to Rod. Rod up top, trying to back his way in. Off balance, shot no good. Not dropping for the Mustangs. Rod going for the steal, couldn't get it. Wells comes forward, sends it off to Boyce, who drives and scores with a scoop shot. Lead back up to 18. Timeout, Laurel Highlands. Newcastle 53, Laurel Highlands 35. 6:02 left here in the fourth. We're back at 60 for the C.R. Product Group High School Sports Night.
Visit C. Harper Chevy East and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $139 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet, find new roads. Lease is to GMF for well-qualified individuals, 24 months at 10,000 miles per year with $3,000 cash rate equity with GM Lease Loyalty or Lease Conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends March 31st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-668-2231 or visit CHarperChevyEast.com.
This is Dr. Fraser Stokes of SWGI Specialists. March is Colon Cancer Awareness Month. Symptoms include rectal bleeding, a change in bowel habit, persistent abdominal pain, or abnormal weight loss. Remember, though, that early colon cancer has no symptoms, making regular screening a smart choice. Call 724-437-7677 or visit swgispecialist.com.
Back here at Newcastle High School, 6:02 left here in the fourth quarter. Newcastle 53, Laurel Highlands 35. Char Valley leads Mars 46-32 after 3. So you might see Char Valley and Newcastle in a WPIL championship game at North Allegheny on Saturday night. Here's Brandon Davis driving, missing. Ball comes loose underneath. Keandre looking for it. It's a little scrum for it. Still hot potato out there, and we'll get a jump ball call, it looks like.
I want to give the Mustangs credit. They're scratching and clawing, but we talked about it during the break, Brian. That was that last sequence was a dagger, and the Mustangs, you almost got to start launching threes now to get back in this game. And Newcastle, they're just too smart, Brian. They're just not going to take that many bad shots.
Keandre off the inbounds pass up top. Fronted there by Wells, comes inside, and the continuation granted for Keandre. Gets the basket and 1. That's 7 for Keandre. Can make it 8 here at the foul line. Foul goes on Michael Graham. That's his 4th. And Laurel Highlands back to within 16 at 53-37. Keandre for the season, 65% from the free throw line, misses here. And Newcastle the rebound. Still up 16. Michael Graham pulling it back out to Sheldon Cox. Edge of the zone, Michael Wells. Wells had 20 after 3 quarters of play. Hasn't scored here yet in the 4th. Graham again up top. Kicks it out on the wing. 3 on the way and swished in again by Isaiah Boyce. Boyce in double figures with 10. Lead back up to 19 at 56-37. Here's Palumbo firing a 3 off the mark from the far side. Newcastle another rebound, and they'll lob it back across to Boyce. He'll spot up for another 3 out the front of the rim. No good. Rebound deflected around, and scoring on the putback, Sheldon Cox. It's 21 for Cox, and that's the lead right now. 21 points for Newcastle over Laurel Highlands at 58-37. Gallagher double teamed. Set on the far baseline to Brandon Davis, who puts it off the glass and in. Brandon Davis in double figures with 10. 58-39. Mustangs only 1 timeout remaining. Newcastle with 4 remaining. 4:24 left here in regulation. Michael Wells back in the corner. Another 3 on the way. Rattled in again. Isaiah Boyce. They're hitting them from everywhere. It's 3 made threes here in the 4th quarter from the Red Hurricane. And they're up 22 at 61-39 down. Well, Nick Egnott the basket and 1. Mustangs still fighting, Steve, but this lead for Newcastle is going to be too great to overcome.
Yeah, they're just it's a tough one because, Newcastle, you can tell they don't have any fear of losing this game. They're not even trying to conserve the clock now. They're just kind of freewheeling it, and they're making more shots now than they did earlier.
Lead at 61-41. Egnott at the foul line. And he'll make the free throw. Unfortunately, Steve, in past years, you lose in the WPIL semis, you qualify for the state playoffs. But with the PIAA only taking district champions this year due to COVID, the Mustangs season will end with a loss here tonight. In the backcourt, Michael Graham. Get around Rod. Now back off of Gallagher, high on the left. Graham now has a seam and takes it right to the rack and gets his first 2 of the game. Hard to believe Graham had not scored until that point. The lead now 21. Brandon Davis coming near baseline, leaning and making there.
That could
Davis
be a technical foul. That's going to be a technical foul.
That went on Davis after the make.
They just called a warning for a kick touching the ball. I thought they were going to give him a technical foul, but they didn't. And
just a warning.
Probably lucky they didn't.
There's Boyce in the backcourt over to Wells. Mustangs a little full court pressure now. Wells fires it across, brought down by Boyce. They'll kick it back outside the arc and play keep away with 3:30 to play and the lead at 19. Cade thought about the 3, pulls it back out to Michael Wells, fronted there by Jaden Pratt. Mustangs still playing and forcing a turnover there. Errant pass intercepted by Thomas Brown. Off to Brandon Davis. Davis up top, trying to spin his way in, throws it up. It's off the mark. And underneath, Sheldon Cox pulls down the rebound there for Newcastle. Graham brings it back across here for the Red Hurricane. 3:01 left here in the fourth. 63-44 the score in favor of Newcastle. They've won 6 WPIAL championships, Steve, over the last 10 years.
Well, they're good. They're just better. They're better, top to bottom than the Mustangs. To be honest, they're just, the Mustangs have had a good run and obviously won last year. But these guys, they don't have a weak spot in their lineup.
Lob down low, got intercepted by Gallagher. Sends it forward to Jaden Pratt, who uses the glass and gets it to go for his first 2 of the game. So Pratt, coming off a double-double, has been quiet in this one as Gallagher picks up his 3rd personal foul. With 2:28 to play, the Mustangs down 63-46. And that'll be a 1-and-1 for Newcastle.
Almost to the point, Brian, it's not even worth fouling at this point.
Graham will shoot a 1-and-1. He's yet to attempt a free throw in this game. 64% for the season, came in 27-42. Front end here on the way and no good. Jaden Pratt the rebound. Off to Keandre and back across here on the near side. Keandre for 3, near wing off the back iron, again no good. Underneath, Donnie Cade, the rebound for Newcastle. Red Hurricane up 63-46, 2:15 now to play. Far side, Wells plays catch there with Cade. Now they'll pull it back outside the arc and run a little clock as we approach the 2-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Michael Wells will turn and shoot out in front. It was no good. That was in the cylinder when Sheldon Cox tried to slam it home. No basket. Basket interference. Mustangs will get it back.
Yeah, shame of that for Newcastle. That might have went in anyway.
I think it would have.
Yeah.
And Gallagher bounces it into Brandon Davis. 2 minutes to play. Down 17. Gallagher will scoop shot, score it there for Rod. He has 18. 63-48. 15-point lead. 1:45 left here in the 4th. Here's Michael Wells back across. And Wells trying to set it off to his right. Went behind Cox. Did Pratt push him down? No foul call. Mustangs basketball, 1:37 to play, but they're still down 15. And Gallagher will bring it back across here for the Mustangs. Sends it off to Davis. Brandon far wing it in and gets another 2 to go. Brandon Davis, and the Mustangs will take their final timeout. 1:26 left here in the 4th, 63-50 Newcastle. We're back at 60 for the CR Parada Group High School Sports Night.
When your car is damaged, the name to remember is Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair. Currently in their 57th year of providing quality, reliable service to the community, Ted Silva & Son offers complete collision service, minor to major repairs, frame and unibody repair, and glass installation. They will gladly blueprint your vehicle for repair, and they will work with your insurance company. With a paint booth that utilizes the environmentally friendly waterborne paint process, Ted Silva & Son not only cares for our community and our children, they care for our environment. Located on Atlas Road in Hopwood, it is the goal of Ted Silva & Son to alleviate the stress of an accident and assist you in any way possible. Family owned and operated for 57 years. Call 724-437-2351 for Ted Silva & Son Body and Fender Repair, LLC. Proud to sponsor local high school sports.
1:26 left in regulation, 63-50. Newcastle leading Laurel Highlands. Newcastle with the basketball. Mustangs out of timeouts. Michael Wells will trigger it in. Sent in to Cox, back to Wells, who runs it across, hands off for a block, and the little leader good there from Isaiah Boyce again. And Boyce has had a heck of a 4th quarter here, Steve, with 10 in the 4th, 15 for the game. Gallagher comes back, misses there on the drive, but he was fouled. Gallagher 18 so far in this game. Foul went on Anderson, his 3rd. His brother, Sean Steve, is the all-time leading scorer at Navy. Wow. Believe it or not. Anderson only a sophomore here at Newcastle. Gallagher, first of 2 free throws, good. Give him 19. And Gallagher came in 891 career points. That'll put him on 9-10 for his career, poised to go over 1,000 early on in the season next year, and another make there for Gallagher. We'll delay a game warning underneath. 1:10 to play, 65-52 Red Hurricane, and a substitution underneath here for the Red Hurricane. Graham back in, Jonathan Anderson taking another seat. You had Wells and Cox, who both came in the top 12 all-time as far as leading scorers at Newcastle. And a turnover, went right to Gallagher, skips it back up and in. 22 now for Rod. Mustangs back to within 11. A minute to play. Here's Boyce back across. They'll pull it back out again to Sheldon Cox. Cox comes back inside, puts it off the glass and in. Sheldon Cox, 9 here on the fourth, 23 for the game. 67-54, Gallagher 3 up top, switches it in. The Mustangs don't have any timeouts left. Gallagher with 25 and a quick foul called with 41 seconds left here in the fourth. Mustangs back to within 10, down 67-57. They fought hard, Steve, again all night, but just this Newcastle team too good. Just too good here tonight. I have Newcastle for 8 made threes tonight.
At least, 1, 2.
Michael Graham, front end of a 1-and-1, good. And it looks like Newcastle and Char Valley for the WPIL 5A championship. At last check, Char Valley up 14 over Mars. Now that lead down to 9 at 57-48 with 2 minutes left. Second free throw good again for Graham. So after those two makes, it's Newcastle by 12 at 69-57. 37 seconds left here in the fourth. Gallagher up top for 3, makes it again. No quit, and Rodney Gallagher has 28 points in this game. Mustangs down 9 underneath Graham. No look pass back out to Cox, but Laurel Highlands was down 16 early as Keandre fouls Sheldon Cox. They should get 2 here. I believe that's the 10th team foul. Lead at 9. They could get away, Steve, and afford some of those lulls they had against teams like Highlands, Shaler, and Penn Hills, but we said it during the Sprouse Insurance Group pregame, so you can't afford that here tonight. Cox missed the front end. It was the 9th team foul. Gallagher back on the other side, almost sent in another one. Rebound went to DeMonte Kiss. Back out to Thomas Brown. He'll fire a 3 in the corner off the mark. That rebound pulled down by Donnie Cade, and that'll do it. 69-60, your final score. Newcastle will go for their 7th WPIAL championship over the last 11 years, coming up on Saturday night. They credit the Mustangs. They put us on another fun run again here in 2021, just coming up a little short. They'll end their season at 14-4. The loss here tonight snaps the Mustangs' 12-game winning streak. 69-60, your final score. Newcastle over Laurel Highlands. Stay tuned for our post-game show. Brought to you by South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer, working hard to make life better for the residents of South Union Township. Comes your way next year on WMBS and on the Triple Live High School Sports Network.
Are you looking for a rewarding career? M&R Transit is now hiring van drivers. Van drivers must be 26 years of age, have a valid driver license, and a clean driving record. Van drivers must be able to obtain all clearances. For more information, call 724-439-3164. That's 724-439-3164, or apply in person at M&R Transit, 253 South Mount Vernon Avenue. M&R Transit wishes the Laurel Highlands Mustangs good luck.
Bad hair day? Bad day at the office? Bad day behind the wheel? Hey, stuff happens, even to the best of us. At least your car insurance rate doesn't have to take a hit. Get Erie Rate Lock from Erie Insurance. Gives you a great rate that stays put until you change a car, driver, or your address. Plus, seriously good service. Now that's something to smile about.
Your Erie agent in Uniontown and Ross Traver Township is Sproul's Insurance Group, 724-437-9812, or go to SproulsInsurance.com.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
End the madness and go mobile this March with First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Download the First Federal app and get the security you expect and the convenience you need. Deposit checks, pay bills, turn off lost or stolen cards, check balances instantly, and manage card limits, all with a swipe of your finger. Don't forget the Card Valet mobile app to protect your debit card from fraud. Visit the Apple App Store or Google Play to download the apps. Visit firstfederalofgreene.com for more information. First Federal Savings and Loan Association of Greene County. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender, NMLS number 458729.
With the rest of the world, Peachin Pharmacy is following the developments of the COVID-19 pandemic. Your safety is a priority at Peachin Pharmacy. For prescriptions, you have many options. Peachin's offers free delivery delivery, free mail, and curbside pickup. If you come into the store, Peachins follows all of the CDC and state safety recommendations. As always, if you have concerns about your medications, call 724-626-9600 or visit Peachin Pharmacy inside the Peachin Market in Connellsville or online at peachinpharmacy.com.
UPMC Centers for Rehab Services on Wayland Smith Drive offers cutting-edge physical therapy. Jim Burns and his staff are residents of the community, treating sports injuries, neurological conditions, back pain, sprains and strains, joint replacements, hand injuries, and other conditions. They treat you efficiently and safely by taking all necessary precautions while disinfecting the clinic regularly. All insurance accepted. Experienced therapists. Convenient location and hours. Part of the community. Call the office with a prescription from your doctor or schedule by direct access 724-437-7500.
Riz's Restaurant, located in the heart of downtown Uniontown at 84 West Main Street, specializes in upscale bar food such as burgers, salads, subs, and sandwiches in a relaxed atmosphere. When you stop by, don't forget about Riz's famous chicken salad sandwich. Check out Riz's Facebook page for daily specials. Open Monday through Saturday, 11 to 9, with takeout always available. Phone 724-425-1782 for Riz's Restaurant in Uniontown.
Visit Sea Harbor Chevy and drive away in a new 2021 Chevy Equinox with all-wheel drive for only $139 a month. Security deposit waived. Chevrolet. Find new roads. Lease is through GMF for well-qualified individuals at 10,000 miles per year with $3,000 cash trade equity with GM Lease Loyalty or Lease Conquest. Payment is plus tax, title fees, and first payment. Security deposit waived. Sale ends March 31st, 2021. Call dealer for all other details at 724-99-8000 or visit SeaHarborChevy.com.
Magisterial District Judge Jennifer Jeffries would like to wish the best of luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs, Uniontown Red Raiders, and all of our local teams this season. Judge Jeffries recognizes in these uncertain times, a successful season requires teamwork, and that requires the hard work of players, coaches, and their families. Good luck to the Laurel Highlands Mustangs and Uniontown Red Raiders from District Judge Jennifer Jeffries.
Paid for by the candidate.
Brian Rozak and Steve Superick back here at Newcastle High School on our post-game show brought to you by South Union Township Supervisor Robert Schiffbauer. Also have to thank our video stream sponsor again tonight as well, Mamaruka's Pizza Shop on Barton Mill Road in Uniontown, where Eric Sampson checks in and tells me they had a great crowd tonight. And again, we thank Mamarukas for their support along with all of our sponsors all season long. It's been a lot of fun, Steve. I think we're all very grateful we were able to get in as many games as we did this season during this pandemic. The Mustangs putting us on another fun run. Unfortunately, coming up a little short tonight, losing 69-60. And you have our final stats brought to you by Peachin's Pharmacy, located inside the downtown Connellsville Peachin Market.
Okay, thanks, Brian. For the Mustangs, DeShields finishes with 9 points, Gallagher 26, Palumbo 2 points, Davis with 14, Egnott with 5, and Pratt with 2. They scored 4 in the first, and that was the killer, actually, just getting 4 points in the first, no field goals. 17 in the second, 21 at the half, 12 in the third, and 27 in the fourth quarter for 60 for the ball game. For Newcastle, Graham with 4 points, Cade with 5, Wells with 20, Jackson with 2, Boyce with 15, and Cox had a big fourth quarter with 23. And they had 20 in the first, 15 in the second, 10 in the third, 24 in the fourth for a 69-60 ball game. And Brian, looking at those stat lines, the Mustangs won every quarter but the first, but they got beat up by 16 points, and it kind of let Newcastle kind of cruise. And the Mustangs got it within, 8-9 points at one point, and but could never really get over the hump. And they, the big stretch starting that fourth quarter really did the Mustangs in. But to give the Mustangs credit, they played their guts out, and they played some pretty inspired basketball. They should be proud of the way they played all year, and just tough. You're going against a really good team here in Newcastle, a lot of tradition. And the better team won tonight for sure, but the Mustangs will be back.
And a lot of guys coming back for next year, including the Mustangs' top 3 scorers, Rodney Gallagher, Keandre DeShields, and Brandon Davis, all finish off their sophomore seasons. And Gallagher, 28 tonight. Again, came in 891 career points. He's already, Steve, sitting on 900, and let me do some quick math here. I think 919 heading into next year.
Yeah. Well, he's, he's just terrific, and give DeShields credit and Davis as well. They both, pretty good kind of running mates for Gallagher. Kind of opens up things a little bit. and it's a shame they're going to lose Egnott, Palumbo, and like I said, they'll have Pratt though. He'll be a senior next year. Maybe he's 6'3" now, so if he grows a couple inches, he might be a bit bigger force down low. So the Mustang future looks bright for Rick Hogger and the Mustangs.
The question is, who's going to be the 5th starter next year?
Well, it's just hard to tell. You don't know. I mean, heck, you might have somebody transfer in like you did last year, and you got, looking at that lineup, you got. Terrence Thomas Brown's a senior, so DeMonte Kiss got some pretty big minutes, and then you got to look at the JV team, which we didn't really get to watch a lot of this year. So I'm sure Coach Hogger will have the guys working through the summer, and he'll have them ready to go.
Steve, enjoyed it as always. That'll wrap it up for our folks on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, 69-60. We thank you folks for tuning in, especially on the live video feeds all season long, and a lot of you folks also listening the traditional way too, back on WMBS 590 AM, 101.1 FM on our live web stream, both on our WMBS website, WMBS590.com, and through the Trib Live High School Sports Network, however you're able to listen or watch tonight. We appreciate you tuning in throughout the course of the season. Mustangs taking us on another fun run, unfortunately. Coming up a little short tonight, losing to Newcastle 69-60. We're back with one final word on the WMBS side right after this from Newcastle High School on WMBS.